Is this technology working? I mean, how do I know when it's working? That was pretty crazy, huh? It's pretty freaky to have a priest doing that. It's kind of creepy, like you always say. Anyway, why am I acting like a complete fool? Because I want you to go to conference. You see, my name is Father Weldon. I'm the pastor of St. Francis of Assisi Parish at Ball State University. That's right, here's St. Francis. And where's Ball State University? A lot of people ask that. It's in Muncie, Indiana, but it's a great school. And we are the Cardinals. And we do this thing here, it's called like chirp, chirp. See, I can't even do it now. Chirp, chirp. It's like when fourth down and we're trying to get people chirp, chirp, chirp. Anyway, because I can't do this chirp, chirp thing, I did find something really cool. It's when I point at this thing, it becomes very intimidating. See that finger? It's kind of cool. That finger consecrates bread into the body of Christ, guys. So if Jesus is calling you to be a priest, do it now. But anyhow, I'm using this finger to tell you right now to go to conference. Why do I want you to go to conference? So you can grow in your faith. Because God calls us to grow in our faith. You know who wants you to grow in your faith? The baby Jesus. I love the baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. He wants you to grow in your faith. He wants you to become a better person. Maybe you think, I'm a good enough person just the way I am. You're going to help. Anybody that says that is just too content with their lives. All of us should be seeking greater holiness and greater participation in our faith. So that what? So we can go to heaven, because that's what the baby Jesus wants. He wants us to go to heaven. That's also what our Holy Father wants. You see, our Holy Father, Pope Benedict XVI, has been calling us to this new evangelization. He's continuing the message of John Paul II. Well, you know what the new evangelization boils down to? It means knowing yourself as loved by God so that you can grow in your faith and bring that faith to other people. It means learning how to live and to live well. That's what Focus Conference is going to help you to do. But it costs too much money. Shut up. Do you know how much money you spend on beer a year, even when you're underage? Do you know how much money you spend on makeup, girls? A lot of money. And guys, don't think it's true. You know how much food you guys eat? You don't need that food. Give the money to the poor. Anyway, you say, I don't have the money, and this priest is being really mean to me, and I'm kind of getting offended. Shut up. Anyway, here's the thing about the money. I'll give it to you. Well, not me. I'm giving the people here at Ball State money. But write your home pastors and ask them for money. If they don't give you money, tell them. I'll hit them on the head. I got this gavel. I'll hit you again. I don't care what happens. Anyway, these priests love you. They care about you. All of us do. We want you to grow in your faith and embrace the new evangelization. So we're going to make it easy for you. Here's what you do. You write a letter to your priest at home. Maybe it's not your pastor. Maybe he's too intimidating. I don't know where you get that from. Anyway, maybe you write your associate pastor and you say, Dear Father so-and-so, I don't know if you remember me, but I was in youth group or I was a parishioner of your parish. And right now I'm a student at whatever university or college. And I really want to go to this conference on January 28th through the 30th. And I want to grow in my faith. But here's the thing, I can't afford it. Do you think that you or the church might be able to help me out with $100 or $200, whatever it takes, in order to get me there? And I can guarantee you that those priests are going to say yes. And if they don't say yes, the gavel. See this fraternity paddle? I didn't tell you. I told you about the gavel. I didn't tell you about the fraternity paddle. You know how many times I get hit with this? Actually, none. But there's the gavel, and then there's the fraternity paddle. And definitely not afraid to use this on you. I heard that we did have one person from Cornell that's coming. Really happy about that. Big red. There you go. Anyway, here's the thing. Write them. Write your aunts. Write your uncles. Write your grandparents. I mean, seriously, if you go to your grandparents and say, I really want to grow in my faith, and I'm going to go to this conference January 28th through the 30th, but I can't afford it, do you think they're really not going to help you out? Of course they're going to help you out. And if they're not going to help you with money, they're going to help you with prayer, which is going to help you to ask your priest for money so that you can do that. Now, here's what happens. If you don't do this, if you don't want to grow in your faith, if you're not going to ask for money, well, this thing will do it. It will forgive you. But you know what? You're still not going to grow in your faith. You're just going to be forgiven for your sin. Here's the thing. It's important for you to go to Focus. I'm not minimalizing the sacraments, by the way. I am saying the sacrament of reconciliation is one of the most powerful sacraments there are, and it's one that you should use all the time. But you're going to need to use it if you don't go to Focus Conference, because you don't care about growing in your faith if you don't go. And if you really can't go, well, then you can just say a prayer for me because I'm just being so judgmental. So here's the thing. Ask for the money. Oh, but I can't ask for money. I mean, it's just too hard for me to do. I don't want to ask for money. That's proud. Do you know who asked for money all the time? Do you know who was a professional beggar? Yeah, St. Francis. He was always asking for stuff. He was asking for food. He was asking for clothes. He was asking for money to take care of the poor people. He was always begging. You know why? Because he was humble. Humble. Don't we all need to be a little bit more humble? So stop being so proud. Stop being so arrogant and ask for money. You're not doing it so much for yourself, for your own selfish pleasures. You're doing it so that you can grow in your faith and come closer to Christ. That's right. The sweet little baby Jesus. He wants you to go to conference. I want you to go to conference. Focus wants you to go to conference. It's something that God's calling you to do. And if you don't think God's calling you to do it, well, there's always signs, aren't there? There's little confirmations. So here's your confirmation. Here I am, Lord. Send me to conference. January 28th through 30th, Nashville, Tennessee. So, if you don't go to conference, go to confession. But realize that we want you to go to conference. We don't want you to have to go to confession for not going to conference. But I want you to go to confession. Anyway, I'm talking too much. I'm looking down. That's not working. Did you guys notice just how ugly that background is behind me? Because that's what we do when we don't want to do something else. We just justify. We tell somebody they're judgmental. Yeah, I've heard that a bunch of times too. I'll tell you what. I will leave this. I will not spend parish money to have that thing replaced because it's so ugly if you go to conference. I'll give the money to you so you can go. I have this feeling like there's something behind me. That's from like 1982. Yeah, I was born then. I was actually 6 years old in 1982. Change the background. Do you ever feel like the Pope is just always looking at you? Like, you know, when you have those pictures and their eyes are just like following you wherever you go? I keep feeling like he's right behind me. I don't know why I would think that kind of thing.